name's Michelle and I'm Charlie's grandma. So Charlie's 11 years old and he's a beautiful little boy. He's a character. He enjoys music, dancing, singing, stories. He loves stories. Stories about his family. That's his main thing that he enjoys. Yeah, he's a lovely. You know, our life's brilliant having him in it. Charlie was born a normal little boy. He was lovely, cute little bundle of joy. And at 5 weeks old, he got poorly. He got bronchiolitis. Unfortunately, it got really quite serious, so he had to be intubated. So the nurses came and they had to move Charlie from the hospital incubator to the transport incubator. The doctor that was part of the Embrace team had moved on to another job, so he'd left the nurses to sort out Charlie. And when they moved him, one of the nurses got distracted as they were lifting him and the tube dislodged. And then it just escalated from there. They couldn't get the tube back in. They were doing all sorts of checks. There were all sorts of people running into the room. We got sent out of the room, didn't know what was happening. The tube had dislodged and he was 45 minutes with no oxygen to his brain. So that's the point when he was damaged and he suffered a pneumothorax, and it took him all that time to realise what was going on. So I got introduced to Cedar and Guy, and they were marvellous. They came to the house, introduced themselves, taught me through the process. They were there every time there was something that I needed to ask.
So the first thing that we had to do was to investigate the claim. We explained to the family that we would need to be able to prove that there was some negligence and that what happened to Charlie shouldn't have happened. So we took steps to obtain copies of the medical records. We then instructed some experts, and those experts were able to identify that actually what happened to Charlie shouldn't have happened, that the tube shouldn't have been dislodged, and actually he should have been reintubated much quicker, and that tragically because of that he was left with a lifelong brain injury. We then involved a specialist barrister. We then presented the claim to the hospital. And actually in this case, they came back to us quite quickly with an admission. They admitted that they were at fault, which was good news for the family, because it meant quite early on that we were able to secure a large interim payment for the family. There's also a lump sum element which is paid, which means that it allows the family to buy the accommodation. So Charlie has a beautifully adapted home tailored to meet his specialist needs. He has a large ensuite bedroom, which allows him accessibility from his bedroom to his bathroom with a ceiling track hoist. He has access to a therapy room. He also has access to a level access garden, which allows him to spend time outside with his family. He also has access to a specialist swim spa, and I know that is a hobby that he really enjoys. Charlie also has access to a full-time support team, which allows him to have access to 24/7 care. The settlements are so important for children like Charlie because it's apparent that children like Charlie have long-term complex needs. So what we tend to do in claims like this is to have payments that are made annually for the rest of Charlie's life. So for example, his care package will be paid annually for as long as he lives, which means that it provides the family and Charlie with that security. Working with Michelle was a real privilege. She was so organised and was completely on top of all the detail. She was a real advocate for Charlie, and we spent a long time listening to her with regard to what Charlie's needs were, both now and in the future. We spent some time going through a witness statement with her in which she talks about Charlie's priorities, both short-term and long-term. We were then able to present the case to the hospital solicitors. we were then able to reach a negotiated settlement of the claim. What we did is we sat down with Michelle and we talked about the short-term and long-term priorities. We felt that the short-term priorities included getting Michelle and her family some support to help look after Charlie, as well as some therapies. The long-term goal was to look at adapting the home to ensure that it met Charlie's needs going forward.
If you think something's happened to your child, don't hesitate. Honestly, it's worth it. You must do it, you know, for the benefit of your child and to make them happy. They've gone through trauma already and they're in a position where they can't do something, so you have to make their life better for them.
Seeing Charlie today is so worthwhile and rewarding. Watching children like Charlie thrive in their new environment, it makes the job so worthwhile and rewarding. I think I have the best job in the world to help people like Charlie and Michelle. Litigation can be lengthy, it can be challenging, and it can also be complex. With the right legal help and support, and if we can establish that there has been substandard care which has led to an injury, then we may be able to get you the help and support that you need, just like we did with Charlie and Michelle.